Alright, how's it going, guys? So we didn't have time to do the Azurelands yesterday because there was housework going on and I didn't want to risk, like, I don't know, the internet going out or something like that, or just a lot of loud noise. So, no Azurelands video today, but we're going to go ahead and look at the Reddit. After far too many failed attempts through various playthroughs, I finally got hit by the falling train. Yeah, so I've actually seen someone who plays One Life who got hit by this train. And you'd be surprised how many objects in this game you can actually get hit by, and that'll actually just like insta-wipe you. It's weird. Like, there's a lot of things where like you'd expect it to, and it just doesn't. And then you have stuff like this, and it just does instantly for like no reason. Like, if you go to the Bloodshot Bridge whenever it's going down, you can just stand underneath it, and most of the time it'll just push you back. It'll push you out of the way, and you can just run forward after that, no problem. Other times, it'll just flatten you outright, and I don't know exactly what causes it. It's just weird though. Guys, I think my sanctuary broke. Oh. Huh. Okay, so this is the this is the Highlands Outwash. So what did you... What? Huh? Well, how? Like... This is one of those things where, like, I've never seen anything like this, so I'd have to assume this was a mod conflict or something, because this doesn't happen normally, and that's super weird. Why are there Crimson Lance crates in the doll mine? Is this supposed to imply something, or is it just a goof? Well, honestly, knowing Gearbox, this was probably just a copy-paste of a texture. I doubt they would intentionally do this. There's a chance maybe they chose to do this and there's lore behind it, but there's a 99% chance that this is just a crate and they needed a crate. That's probably my guess. Finally, thanks RNG, my first Norfleet. Oh, they were farming Vermi for a Norfleet. You know, I really respect that. A lot of people would rather just farm Hyperius since he is way more consistent to farm, but I guess if you get Vermi to spawn, it's way better RNG. Like, realistically, it's way better odds. And if you have a 4-stack, you have a higher chance of Vermi spawning. You could dupe it after that, even though some people will say duping feels kind of cheaty. But yeah, good job, I guess. Am I the only one who finds getting to level 80 really slow and boring? No. I think literally everybody agrees that the grind to level 80 is rough. It's really, really bad. I have BL2 Fix normally enabled, which in UVHM gives you 3 times the XP you normally get. And even then, it takes several hours of intentional dedicated farming to actually go from level 50 to level 80. It's a lot. And yeah, you could do all the content, you could do like the side content, you could do side missions and stuff, but after you get through a couple characters, you really just want to like get to the high level so that you can just test out the stuff at the high level, and it starts to, it gets worse over time, basically is what I'm saying. It gets worse. Bloodsploding Badmaw is the best feeling ever. You see, this is what I want to happen. Maybe we should farm for a fastball whenever I play Azurelands again, which I will be playing it again today, so that'll be up tomorrow. So maybe a fastball would be a good idea. I don't know. I mean, it would make sense. I'm playing Krieg. Krieg can take really good advantage of it. Yeah. Yeah, it's just good. Never seen this one before. Happened outside Lynchwood while fighting the clans. Ah, yeah. This is actually kind of really rare in Borderlands, but if enemies do get stuck inside of textures, they'll just pull. And it's really weird, and it's really funny, but it's super duper rare that anyone ever finds this. The main thing that causes it seems to be shooting bandits when they're coming out of a door. But yeah, sometimes you can just get it just by them existing, and it's weird. Hey guys, is there any good control setup for driving the car with one hand on PC? Time sensitive, any help appreciated. Well, I guess that the easiest answer would be to bind everything to your mouse. So, right click to drive forward. Yeah, just do that. Have the other button be set to fire. if you have any other like keys on your mouse, probably set those up to be like the boost, or maybe to just exit the vehicle if it's really like one hand dedicated. But besides that, like that's really all you need to drive a car in this game. The ability to get in it, the ability to drive forward, and probably also shoot things sometimes. You should be okay. Most BS bosses. What's your most BS boss list? Here's mine. Alright. Basaurus, Torgblim, Saturn, normal mode, Jackenstein. I don't think Saturn deserves to be on here because he's just kind of there and you can bully him pretty easy just by hiding away from him. And yeah, in normal mode he might be kind of annoying, but also in normal mode you can get a B shield right before you fight him. You can get a decent rocket launcher and that'll get rid of him. There's a little baby pup skag to get like a kill on to trigger kill skills if you need it. There's turrets on his body to get kill skills if you need it. The surveyors he shoots out, if you shoot them while you're down, they count as a second wind. Of course, more of them will come afterwards and probably put you back down, but if you time it right, you can get a second wind off of those, so that's really nice. I do agree with BA Rex. BA Rex is probably the most annoying boss in the game to me. I'm surprised they don't have, there's another boss in Hammerlock DLC that's like one of those scalions, but it has the turret on its back. And that guy is an absolute nightmare sometimes. If you like try to shoot the turret off and he just starts turning and he starts reflecting stuff back at you, that really sucks. Jackenstein, yeah, he's kind of rough, but I don't know if he deserves to be on this list, because realistically, if you just have like a Lady Fist or a Jacob's weapon or a Hyperion weapon in general, you can pretty well bully the crit spots off of his back. Just don't shoot him directly and he won't reflect kill you, realistically. But of course with BA Rex you could say the same thing, but he has the temporary fire barrels on his body and you can break all of them and he still has like over half his health bar left, and then it's all reflective and it's super annoying and I don't like it. Someone else said Captain Flint. I can see where they're coming from as a new player. Captain Flint literally is one of the only bosses in the game that has a mechanic where you have to just like either avoid him or he just gains massive DR and reflects. I would just, if you're a new player, learn how to like get into Flint's arena early, get up where he spawns and just body block him. That's the easiest answer. But if you don't want to do that, if he's in fire phase, just don't shoot him, because he will have high DR and he will reflect everything. So yeah, just be kind of careful with him. Can anyone tell me what gun this is? Okay, it's a bandit assault rifle. It's really bad. I mean, it's just a bandit assault rifle. Probably green, maybe purple. Probably green though. I don't know. These aren't, they're okay. Just got a Pimpernel and TVHM. Confused as to why it's so good. Relatively new to BL2, got a corrosive Banbury Pimp. Stats seem a lot worse than other snipers I have. Why is the Pimp so good? Well, it's good because it has extra projectiles. And by extra projectiles, I mean like 5 or 6. So you shoot your base pellet, and then that splits into like 5 more pellets. And all of those pellets deal the damage that they're supposed to deal. So it ends up being a lot. Basically, you can take the damage that's on the stat card, multiply it by like 6, and that's really what you're working with. And then if you have on like an amp shield, take that times 6, because that's also really what you're working with. And then like chain reaction, you can get some other stuff going. It has really good gun splash damage on it. It's just kind of really strong, basically. Best farms for each character to go through UVHM? I'm wondering what the best farmable gear to get the different characters for UVHM is. Okay, so if we're talking about the crutches, there is Clan Wars, which is the fastest XP farm if you have good loading times. You can get Maggies and Slagas from it. Basically every character can do it and it's reasonable. There is Badmaw, you can farm bad mob because you can just spawn, you can throw something at him, probably like a skyrocket even, so you literally just don't have to ever gear while farming him. Or if you do want to gear, you can go to Bull, you can get a fastball, that'll usually do it too. There is Ancient Dragons of Destruction if your name is Salvador and you have a really good build and you know exactly what you're doing, because that is 4 raid bosses worth of XP just back to back to back like that. And then there are other options. You can do Snowman DLC, that's a little bit slower, but it'll give you a lot of loot. There is Old Slappy is now becoming more popular. I feel like it's not as fast as McZafford, but if you are on a slower load time kind of setting, you have a slightly smaller map, you have the big boss that you normally have, and then you have a couple of tentacles that might give XP as well, so that's also good. And then there's also Uranus, because Uranus is a big boss on a relatively like medium-sized map for the load times once again, and he gives a lot of XP and he gives a lot of loot. So those are the main ones like people would go for. Rabid farming or like tubby farming for class mods, that'll get you a lot of XP as a byproduct as well. So if you need a level 62 plus comm, like the Gen 2 legendary comms, I would do that like immediately as soon as you hit level 62, because realistically the percent stats on them don't get a lot higher based on what level you are. So having a level 62 version of it is completely fine even up through OP levels. And then, I mean, your other small farms, like you might want to go get like a Bone of the Ancients, you might want to go get a Sheriff's Badge. There's just a couple items. Just look up a couple builds for your character. Think about like, hey, is this repeatable? If it is, should I repeat it often? If it isn't, should I wait until max level? And then pretty much picking an XP farm from there and just doing that. Okay. Well, I think we've already hit the bottom. So, guys, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. Yep, Azurelands will be up tomorrow, but yeah, just didn't have time today. I appreciate you guys. I guess that's it. So, yeah, subscribe if you haven't. I'd appreciate it. And bye. See you later.